Hey everybody, today we were out here checking out the Cyrusher XF900. It is a motorcycle inspired, full suspension, fat tire e-bike, and it's right over here. So Cyrusher's been around since 2014 and they actually opened up their own factory in 2017. Currently they ship straight to consumer and they offer a 2-year limited warranty. You can check their website for all the details on that, see what's covered, see what's not. It has a 750 watt motor and a lot of get up and go. In some configurations, it can reach speeds up to 31 miles an hour. So you're going to want to check with your local laws and regulations and make sure you're adhering to those. Got a couple different modes on this. We've got pedal assist, a twist throttle, and a walk mode. The walk mode is pretty brisk, so you're going to want to make sure that your sneakers are tied up and you are ready to go. Currently, it comes in one size. It's got about 75 inches overall length, and it comes in 3 colors. We've got blue, yellow, and white. So this is the white one right here. It ships about 80% assembled. It weighs about 74 pounds with the battery. The recommended rider height on this one is anywhere between 5 foot 4 inches to 6 foot 2 inches. It's got a stand overhead of just about 35 inches. The battery on this is 48 volts, locking, removable, and the range is estimated between 35 to 50 miles per charge. And the controller is actually integrated into the frame. The frame over here, we've got a 6061 aluminum alloy frame, and we've got this larger dual spring seat. You can see right here we've got about a 19.5 inch reach, and it is a pretty forward riding position. So if you're somebody who has back problems or knee problems, this might not be the position you'd want to ride in. Maybe you'd look at something more like a step through or something like that. The seat does have pretty good padding. Again, this dual spring. It's got this integrated light here in the back, which is cool to see. It's got a minimum saddle height of 28 inches and a maximum saddle height of 32.5 inches. And like I mentioned, it is a pretty comfortable ride. We've got these big 26 inch by 4 inch tires. You can have them anywhere between 5 psi up to 30 psi, depending on the terrain and the comfort. If you were out on the beach, maybe in some softer sand, you'd want to have it maybe closer to 5. And then if you're out on some hard-packed trails or sidewalks, things like that, maybe you're going to want it closer to that 30 psi. And up here, we have the rear suspension. This one's rated for 750 pounds, and it comes with 20 millimeters of deformation. So just kind of adding to the overall comfort of the ride here. And then we'll head on to the front. So up here we have a front suspension. This is a Partner 26-inch front fork. It is adjustable. Comes with 110 millimeters of travel, 35 millimeters of deformation. There's no quick adjustment knobs on this one though. All the wires heading into the frame there. And then heading up here, we've got these ergonomic rubber grips. They're not locking, but I was able to find that I wasn't really able to, move them around or anything. They seem pretty secure. And if we head over on this side, same grip style. We've got the half grip on this side, and the throttle is over here. Very responsive, snaps back pretty good. And these handlebars, they're about 28 inches wide. So pretty standard for a mountain bike handlebar. Just something to take into consideration if you're trying to fit this into maybe a smaller SUV or any other place where length is going to be an issue for you. And then over here on the right side, we have the Shimano Acera SL M310 rapid fire shifters. This one is the 7-speed. It's your standard thing over here. We've got thumb and index paddles on this. And if we head around to the other side, on this side we have, again, the Shimano Acera SL M310 rapid fire shifter. This one is the 3-speed. So on this left side, there's a lot going on. But I'm able to find that my hand's able to get in here and get to all the controls, get to everything that I need to get to. So that is cool to see. We've got Tektro dual disc brakes on this. Something to make sure is before you go out and ride this thing, those are tuned correctly. You're gonna want to make sure you're able to stop. Always a good thing. The discs measure at 180 millimeters. So 2 of those, which is pretty cool to see, especially for a bike this powerful and this heavy. Over here we have the control pad. We've got lights, we've got the horn. The horn is actually very loud. I would not test that out in a garage or in the house. It's something that will be heard for sure. So then we're going to hold on this third button here, and that is going to turn on the display for us. This display is 3.7-inch LCD. It's not in color, but that's okay. You know, some people prefer the grayscale, the higher contrast. It's maybe a little bit easier to see in the daylight. So we can press that third button again, and we can change some of the readouts. Some of the things you'll see on here is a charge indicator. We got a speedometer, we got an odometer, trip odometer, pedal assist levels, watts. So there are some advanced settings on this, but they are pretty expansive, so I'll probably have to save getting into that for another video. And if we head on to the back, we've got the Shimano Tourney TY300 Derailleur. Now, the Tourney is the basic Shimano. It's the lower tier of the Shimano. But with Shimano, they've been around for almost 100 years. You know, we're expecting quality from this part right here. Shifts well, does everything I need it to do. No complaints about this. And then back here we have the motor. This is a Bafang 750 watt motor. Puts out about 80 Newton meters. Very responsive, well tuned. No complaints so far on this one. And then over here in the back, we've got the other Tektro 180mm dual disc brake. Again, a good idea for dual brakes on this since there's so much power and since it's one of those bigger bikes. We move up to the front here. There's no chain guard, which is maybe something we want to see. Maybe we would upgrade this. Maybe this is for a future model. But if you're out there on the trails and you were to hit something, it'd be nice to have a little protection, as the chain is what keeps everything rolling. Down here at the cranks, we've got Pro Wheel cranks. These are 170mm in length and some Well-Go B087 pedals. And we'll head on up to the front. Again, there's that front disc brake for you. And on this side, we've got a quick release on the front wheel, which is pretty cool, especially if transport's going to be an issue. You can kind of cut down that overall length by a couple of inches, taking this wheel off, maybe allow you to maneuver this into some tighter places. And then the front light here, it's 6,500 lumens. Should be enough to see at night, but that's going to require a follow-up video where you can kind of go in and test the effectiveness of that. And also we got these motorcycle style fenders. Fenders are always nice to have, always nice to see that included on these bikes, especially for this bike because you're going to be riding it out there in the dirt, mud, water, things like that. And these fenders are really going to help protect you from all that stuff kicking up and hitting you. You know, basically anything to avoid getting back to the house with one big brown stripe in the front and one big brown stripe in the back. Again, this one has a very powerful motor, so you're going to want to check local rules and regulations. You know, just make sure you're following the law, whatever your laws are in that area. And this is a fun bike, right? You're going to be riding this out in the woods, you know, on private land, maybe in the mountains, maybe some urban, depending on the areas and the configurations of the bike. But that's the main goal of this one, is to get out there, have fun out there in nature. So let's go snag the keys and check this battery out. All right, so we got the keys and let's check this battery out. So this battery is 48 volts, 17 amp hour Panasonic Lithium-ion. And let's see if I can do this with one hand. All right. Weighs about 8 pounds. Pretty standard e-bike battery weight. You know, not the heaviest, not the lightest. It's got this USB port on the side here for charging a phone or a small device, which I like that. Tested it out, seems to function as intended. And on this side we have a 3 amp charger. This one weighs about half a pound. It's pretty quiet. I didn't notice any noise while charging it up. So now that we talked about what the bike is, let's head out to the trails and see what it can do for the ride test. Hey everybody, before we get into the ride test, I just want to touch base on a few things real quick, and let's head over to the bike. Number one, they do have these mounting points right here. So if you wanted to put a water bottle or a kit or something like that, not a whole lot of space here, but if you had something that's maybe more of a slimmer profile, that would be a good option right there. And then this rear shock, we went over it. Some people seem to be confused if it's air or spring, so I just want to clarify this actually is spring, and it is rated for 750 pounds. And then as far as the quick attachment on the front wheel, I actually did that on the way over here and popped it off, popped it back on. I could do it all with one hand, on and off, very simple, and it actually did save me quite a bit of space in there. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let's get into the ride test and see what this thing can do. All right, we hopped on the bike. Let's turn it on, and let's get going. Very responsive on the throttle here. For putting around, this thing is pretty sweet. I'm just gonna get it in a lower gear. So with the pedal assist on this thing, it basically kicks in and then takes you up to speed. So it'll kick in and then gets us up to that 11, 12 miles an hour, something like that. I believe these readings are fairly accurate on this thing. So that's pretty cool. So definitely one of those ones where you can tell when the pedal assist kicks in. I find that it's pretty responsive as far as letting off of the pedal assist. So as soon as you get up to speed, it'll kick in, you get up there, and then as soon as I stop, it stops. So I like that. I'm not gonna run into a wall or something like that. And let's head out to the trails and see what we can do with that. There we go. Now we can really test out this pedal assist. We got it in pedal assist 1. Let's take it up to 2. Getting up to some nice speeds here. Cruising. The brakes are handling really well. That's cool to see, especially on something this big and something that's going to be going this fast. It's nice to know that if we need to stop for some reason, we can do that. There we go. Yeah, this is the trail for testing out the pedal assist. Very nice, smooth, easy. We're just rocking and rolling. Oh, there's a snake. Whoa. Okay. Very cool. I'm sort of tempted to hit this, see how much air we can get, but I probably will not. So we're coming down the backside. Again, brakes working excellent. And there we go. We are off to the races, absolutely cruising. So one of the things I noticed with these motorcycle forks is because there's one on each side, sometimes if you're turning it, it'll hit the frame. I've only experienced that when I've been maneuvering it, right? So in the garage, around cars, things like that. Even on any of those tight turns in there, while you're riding it, I don't think you're gonna be able to turn the handlebars far enough to experience that. But just something to keep into consideration when you're maneuvering around in the garage or around people. You can't get that full 90-degree turn as you can with some bikes. Well, let's try this. So we're in pedal assist 5. We got that big old mountain there at the end. Let's see how much air we can get. Well, I'm not going to do that, but let's test out this pedal assist level 5. I'm in the highest gear over here. Highest gear. Pedal assist 5. Let's see how fast we can get going over here. The wind is to our back, so that's going to help us. Was able to just beat that 28 mile an hour kickoff there. And again, super responsive. As soon as I stop pedaling, the motor kicks off. I really like that. Very responsive, very quick on that timing there. So we found this cool obstacle they got back here, kind of like a climbing, jumping scenario. Let's see how this thing handles on it. I took that like a champ. Let's try that again. I probably go to 2 on this side. like a champ. All right, so let's do a braking test on this. First gear, kind of towards the end here. Very responsive brakes, and again, with something this powerful, you know, that can go this fast, that is a must-have right there. All right, let's check out what the motor's doing down there. First, using the throttle right now. All right, we're bumping it up to pedal assist level 3. Alright, so we're just going to be cycling through the first crankset here. This is a 21 speed bike, so we will be going through 3 of those. And we're going to cycle through the second crankset. And finally, we're going to be cycling through that third crankset. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the Cyrusher XF900. It's a very cool bike, lots of fun riding around these trails. You can see we got it pretty dirty. And if you need to know anything else about the bike, you can head over to Cyrusher's website. I'll have a link down to that below. And if there's any of the specifications you didn't see listed in the overview video, they are probably down below. Alright guys, we'll see you on the next one.